With only a handful of games to go and buys on the line, things are getting tight in the MAC. Kent State is looking to make it 3 in a row, while UB came from behind versus Bowling Green to stay in a bye race. These two MAC foes battle it out in MAC college basketball, and it's now. Mid-American basketball will play out tonight. The Kent State Golden Flashes have traveled to the University at Buffalo, and they will play the Bulls inside Alumni Arena here on the campus of U at B. There is nothing common about the matchup tonight. Historically, and even most recently, the Flashes and the Bulls, they don't like each other that much, and there's even more on the line here this evening. My name is Ben Wagner, courtside with head coach Mike McDonald, and that is simply put, that there is a lot on the line tonight, and it has to do with the jockeying in the MAC standings.
That's right, you're fired up. Both these teams are fired up. Big game tonight. Kent State coming in off a big win against their rival Akron. Buffalo coming in after beating Bowling Green on Saturday. Both teams vying to get that very valuable bye into the quarterfinals in the MAC tournament. There is a lot on the line tonight, Ben.
Bulls kept himself in the race, simply knocking off BG, and here's why. Look at the standings. There's a possibility that the top 4 seeds in the MAC tournament arrive from the Eastern Division alone.
It could happen. It's a very balanced division and a very competitive division.
Well, there's no surprise either that the University of Buffalo got back on the winning ways with the return of Lamonte Bearding. The point guard is so important in orchestrating any offensive rotation, but the Bulls needed him to produce when he got back in the lineup, and he did.
And he did. He did in a big way against Bowling Green. He helps their overall rotation, allows guys get back to their more natural position. He can score, he passes, he's very valuable on the floor. They missed him for those 3 games going 0-3. He's back now, and the Bulls are feeling good.
From the Rookie of the Year mark in the MAC, where he led the entire conference in assists, Lamonte Bearding, a key cog, and he harassed the Golden Flashes when they first met in Ohio. Speaking of Ohio, Kent State and the Golden Flashes, they were without 2 huge cogs. Xavier Pollard, Jalen Walker, they're not available for Rob Sinderoff tonight. That is why they're going to look at so much of Jimmy Hall and what he's been able to bring them recently.
And Jimmy Hall is their leading scorer, leading rebounder. The offense goes through him each time down. He's very valuable. The Bulls are going to have their hands full trying to contend with a very good forward at Kent State.
Rob Sinderoff called his big man, Jimmy Hall, the best power forward in the MAC, and that is a key matchup to watch tonight as it unfolds here at Alumni Arena. We're ready. We hope you're ready. Coming up, MAC college basketball, Kent State at UB, and it's next. They are ready to go inside Alumni Arena, and so are we. Kent State and the Golden Flashes with 18 wins, looking for a 10th in the league. Look at the backcourt of Kellen Thomas, who made his first 7 field goals against Akron on Friday night. Galal Cancer, Khalid Spicer, Dion Edwin, and of course Jimmy Hall round out the starting 5. Rob Sinderoff, he shared a conference division crown with 12 victories within the MAC last year, split it with CMU and UB. On the flip side, the Bulls homestanding with Blake Hamilton, who comes off a career-high 24 points against Bowling Green over the weekend in a big win, 88-74. Lamonte Bearden makes a consecutive start with Willie Connor, David Kadiri, and Jaron Skeet. Nate Oates in his first year after taking over from the top assistants role with Bobby Hurley, moving out west. He's part of the orchestrator that built back-to-back division title teams, went to the NCAA tournament a year ago, and gave West Virginia everything that they could handle in Columbus, Ohio in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Flashes will operate in these brilliant, bright gold uniforms on the road.
You ready, Ben?
I've been ready for this one for a long time.
You like this early tip-off, don't you?
I love an early tip-off. I love big games that mean something down the stretch in conference play.
And that's what we got here. Great to have an important February game in Alumni Arena.
Spicer working hard in the interior, picks up an early foul on UB.
And David Kadiri getting a foul, and David Kadiri getting a quick hook as Kenneth Smart is coming to the scorer's table. You see the foul there. The hands were not straight up. Spicer going to the line.
Spicer is a 63% free throw shooter. He hardly misses when he's on the floor, though, from field goal range. 62%. What a luxury to have a big man that important and hitting that many shots, Mike, within the inside.
Got to get your free throw percentage up way better than your field goal percentage.
Averaging just under 8 points, but 6 rebounds a game.
But you see the Golden Flashes trying to go inside on Buffalo early, take advantage where they think they have an advantage and capitalize on it.
Bearden operating the point, quickly gets it in the hands of Skeet, who by trade is a true point guard. So the Bulls have some luxury. Outside, Hamilton's had the hot hand, and he continues. A 3 right off the bat for Blake Hamilton.
And you know what, Ben? We talk about Lamonte Bearden coming back. One of the biggest things that's really undersold is that now all of a sudden the Bulls can kind of go back to playing a little bit smaller with Hamilton at the 4 position, the power forward, where he's a tough matchup for some of the bigger guys in the Mid-American Conference.
All working hard, then got cut off. Out of the corner trying to bank. Cancer comes up empty. Another offensive rebound. Hall can't get the stick back, then gets tied up. It goes into a barrel roll.
And nobody wants to give up the ball right there. It's like the NFL.
Smart was the early sub for the Bulls, and he got wrapped up.
I don't think that was an intentional bank from the corner either. I think that was a unintentional bank. We'll put it that way.
That was a contested shot, baby. I don't know. It's not the prettiest shot that we're going to see all night, I'll guarantee you. Just over a minute gone by, 3-1, the early lead for the Bulls. Bearden got cut off, has a mismatch against Spicer and drives right around him and got to the bucket. That's one thing Rob Sinderoff spent a lot of time working on at shoot-around today.
They really have to keep the Bulls out of the lane. The way the Bulls get in the lane is off the dribble drive.
Out of the reach of Hall, from his fingertips back to the Bulls.
Well, it's good. It's really a contrast in styles. Kent State is going to try and pound it inside to their 4-man and their 5-man, the power forward and their center, and get them touches with the back to the basket. Where the Bulls are going to try and space the defense out and drive to the basket off the dribble.
Galal Cancer keeping Bearden close. Smart to Hamilton, who's already on the board. Can't get his second 3 of the night. And quickly, here comes Thomas in the Golden Flashes. Step through, point blank drop off. Hall came up short, got his own rebound, and a putback.
Good battle in there, and great discipline by Spicer not to touch the ball and let the ball fall in there.
What activity on the inside. We've seen Spicer and Hall already. It's probably the big glaring factor where the Flashes can mismatch the Bulls. Because inside they've got some size, but they just don't have that constant activity.
And the way the Bulls are counteract that is to have Hamilton shoot threes and let him space the floor that way.
Kevin Ferguson, Greg Lansdorf, Todd Van Sossen officiating this MAC contest.
Went with a big-time crew for a big-time game, Ben.
These guys are busy. This is the busiest time of year, and they're looking at their own evaluations. What a feed from Hamilton, but Bearden couldn't finish.
Not only a feed, a great cut by Bearden, and Bearden pounded his chest saying it was my fault. Of course it was my fault. He dropped the ball, but Hamilton made a great pass, great cut, just didn't catch it.
Blake Hamilton started his freshman year collegiately in Northern Arizona, then went to Mount San Antonio College in California, where he averaged 14 points and 6 rebounds. Edwin cut off, and Spicer slams it in. Senior from Detroit, Blake Spicer at 22, and what some would say would be an upset win over Akron, but two campuses that are just 10 miles apart, huge rivalry game. Smart point-blank range got draped by Jimmy Hall, who picks up the personal foul.
Rob Senderhoff doesn't agree with the call, saying the defender was straight up. I thought it was a good call. What'd you think, Ben?
In the halo. Has to be a personal foul.
Well, if he's straight up, it's not a...
There you go with the points of emphasis with the cylinder. I thought it was a good call regardless.
Yeah.
Ikenna Smart at the free throw line. Nice articles all around now about Ikenna Smart. He lists his hometown as Greensboro, North Carolina, but it goes far, far beyond that. He was adopted by a religious family, opportunity to come and play basketball, something that he's only been able to do competitively for 3 years.
Yep. Yeah, really bright future for him. Can really protect the rim and play defense right now. Offense game a little bit behind it, but we'll get there.
Nice kick out, open out of the corner. Edwin could hit the three, and a long rebound tracked by Bearden.
Guards got a rebound if Buffalo's going to be exceptional tonight on the backboard.
Bulls take their foot off the gas pedal, set up the offense. Hamilton creates a little space, got the shot away, and hit it over Spicer.
And that's the counter to Kent State size. We're going to bring you out away, Buffalo says. We'll take you away from the hoop and try and beat you off the bounce.
What a step by Cancer. Got to the cup and finishes with the bank. He's had a great month of February, averaging double figures, shooting 42% from downtown. But that first step created that opportunity.
Transfer from Cornell.
Grad student. Edwin creates by diving on the floor. Spicer feeds it up for Thomas with a reverse lay-in. He couldn't finish. Hall got held, still able to get away. Got it, and a foul.
And you see Nate Oates on the middle of the floor yelling at his player, you've got to run the floor. You can't stand and wait.
The bucket is good, and the Flashes are in front for the first time tonight.
What am I doing in this royal carriage? I summoned it with YP, the best local app ever, with Uber built right in. Conroy, take me to the haberdashery.
That's not my name, sir.
Sir. How do I get away with this? I bought tickets directly from the YP app, and with Fandango built right in, I go right to my primo seats with this obscene bucket of corn. Hot.
Download the YP app. Do it now.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway, we'll take you wherever you go.
Marathon is a proud sponsor of the Mid-American Conference. We back the MAC.
Sam.
Ready for some pizza? Be sure to call Giorgio's Oven Fresh Pizza Company, the official pizza of the MAC. Get your large 3-topping pizza special for only $8 during the MAC basketball tournament. Visit us online at giorgiosofp.com. It is Giorgio's, and
I'm ready for pizza. You good? Come on, Ben. You
not the only hungry guys.
Buying?
Not the only hungry guys are courtside tonight. Hall, Spicer, Connor, Hamilton. You guys are working hard on the floor.
Tell you what, you see the enormity of this game and the hustle by Hall, picking up the loose ball and getting the N1 play. To win games this time of year, you got to make those hustle plays. And Hall did it and got rewarded with a 3-point play.
5 early points for the redshirt junior from Brooklyn. A couple of New York connections off a Kent State roster, which does not feature any Ohio Impact players.
Unusual, but effective right now.
Caught in the corner, trying to get rid of it. Bearden bobbled. Finds Hamilton to bail him out. 15 to shoot. Bearden with a catch, passes on the shot. Caught off on the baseline by Edwin, and then drug his pivot foot. A turnover, back to Kent State. That's the 3rd on Buffalo.
Odell Wigington checking in for the Bulls. He moves to the power forward. That moves Blake Hamilton to the small forward position.
Wigington's total 23 points over the last 3 games. 7 different times he's been at double figures this season. Edwin left it a little bit short, tipped his own rebound, and the putback falls through.
And the Golden Flashes have been able to get into the paint against UB's defense.
Edwin has been much stronger as a starter, too. His numbers are up, both in activity and in overall in production in the point column. They'll find Wigington, who skies towards the rack and had his shot deterred. Kent State with Avery on the floor for the first time.
Ortiz begging for the ball in the post.
Pinned underneath the block. Avoids the double team. What a drop step to get around. Just couldn't finish the shot.
Rebound mismatch with Lamonte Bearden.
And in transition, the Bulls cough it up. Good spin by Avery. Cancer put his chin on the rim. Saw a lot of daylight, but good called for steps.
What a spin by Avery down there to stay. He stripped the ball, was going out of bounds, threw it inbounds. Right here, take a look at it. Made sure it stayed in bounds, waited, got both his feet in, and he didn't grab it until he had both his feet in. He didn't touch it. He let his teammate get it.
In the Winter Games, that would be like what, an 8.7?
I think so. Maybe not the Russian judge. We'll see.
There's always an X factor. We're 6 minutes in, 4-point Bulls for Kent State.
C.J. Massenberg in now for UB.
Tries to go over those long limbs, comes up empty. On the outlet, Ortiz into traffic. Called for an offensive foul.
Blake Hamilton giving up the body. See him backpedaling here on defense. Guessing he's going to go right. Boom. Kevin Ferguson right on the call. I thought when he took it, his heels might have been in the charge circle. They were not. Kevin Ferguson, as he'd like to tell you, right again.
Everything was outside, and that's the way, letter of the law. You have to be completely removed from the half circle. The question is now, if the guy's leaning, if you see a leg stuck out, but in real time, good call by Ferguson. Fade away by Hamilton. Even better, he's off and running with 7 points.
Pretty touch.
Blake Hamilton, very skilled offensively. We've seen it inside now and outside. Got the first bucket for the Bulls this evening. Nick Perkins off the bench, working defensively for UB. Ortiz goes right at him and over the defense. Early this season, you saw a lot of flash from Chris Ortiz, had the double-double where he not only had 12 points, 16 rebounds against the Penguins of Youngstown State.
It's a good way to start the season right there.
Bearden baited his defender to go with him and picks up the personal foul.
Defender, I didn't see who the call was on.
I believe they nailed it on Marvin Jones.
Two guys kind of hit him here. You see Jones from behind and Davis in the front.
Here at the free throw line, Lamonte's at 78%.
See, once again, the Buffalo offense spreading the floor, searching to find a mismatch. They got one with Bearden. He drove and was able to get it. Kent State's going to have a more traditional get the ball into the paint with the big man. Let him make a post move.
Bearden subs out. Jaron Skeet back in. Rashawn Davis shuttles off as well for Kent State. Looking for the long lob. Ortiz gathers, steps through the double team, and finishes it.
Ortiz guarded by Willie Connor there. He wanted the ball right away.
4 points for Chris Ortiz. Perkins getting frisky, had it partially deflected. Underneath, cleaning it up, Rodell Wigington.
Great hustle by Wigington not to give up on the play. Your teammate gets a shot blocked. It's easy to drop your head. Instead, he kept competing for the basketball.
Everything working through the blocks. Ortiz asked for a foul after he missed the shot badly. All alone. Can Massenberg knock it down? Yes, he can.
Guy has been so hot since mid-January. You can't leave him alone like that. He had all day to eye it and let it fly.
Last couple of weeks, he's really built a lot of confidence, went into the starting rotation. A true freshman from Dallas. Bulls by a point. Avery trying to match it. It's too strong. Wigington on the opposite end.
Buffalo with gang rebounds. They all got to help.
Up the floor from Wigington. Tried to get it underneath the Perkins.
Really great hustle play by Thomas right there. Stealing that pass.
Through Hall. Around one, past another, shot blocked from behind by Wigington. Up the floor, Massenberg in transition, and that's one thing that Rob Sinderoff really was fearing on how his team would counteract the transition by the Bulls. He's forced to call a timeout. We will too, because the Bulls have been surging in front by 3.
Because we are modest, they think we can't be unforgiving. Because we're known for our manners, they think we can't reign supreme. Because we're not fueled by the spotlight, they think we won't steal it. Because we work out on the frozen tundra, they think we won't bring the heat. You know what we say? Nothing at all. Here, on our turf, on our field, we keep our heads down and our eyes up. And no matter what we face, we answer with sweat. Because action speaks louder than words.
Spring is around the corner, and what better time to visit the Aloft Cleveland downtown, located in the East Bank of the Flats. A trendy boutique hotel designed with open space for open thinking, leading to endless possibilities, making the Aloft Cleveland downtown ideal for both corporate travelers and the weekend socialite.
Which one are you, Ben? Are you the weekend socialite?
I've been known to moonlight in that role.
Interesting. Never would have seen you as a socialite.
Hey, I go to the highest bidder. Good look at Rob Cinderoff, by the way, on the sidelines in his 5th year, leading Kent State. A 7-0 run forced him to call the timeout.
Trying to get his 100th career win tonight.
Spicer on the kick out, handled by Edwin, who navigates the baseline and found Spicer. Had a shot blocked by Perkins and finishes with the right hand.
Buffalo really active inside against the taller Kent State front line.
No surprise, Kent State is going to go right at him on the inside first, and it's one thing to get it offensively, but you have to match it, maybe even surpass it on the defensive end.
Kent State, Deion Edwin with the reach-in foul on Perkins.
First personal on Edwin.
Not a great foul. If you've watched Buffalo through the year, Perkins is a still developing post player. No reason to give away a foul. Make him have to hit that shot.
Left-handed release at 54% from the free throw line. He's played on and off in different spurts this season. True freshman from Ypsilanti, Michigan. 6'8", 225. 4-time All-Stater on the hardwood.
I'd say that's pretty good, right?
Now it's about developing everything.
He's going to be a good Mid-American Conference player.
Perhaps factoring him in a long line of big, dominant post men from UB. Hand check on Perkins. Halted Hall on his spin. First on Nick Perkins.
Point of emphasis for the officials this year, keeping the hands of the defender off the body of the offensive player. And just because it's February, can't stop calling it.
Hall sweeps through from the right side of the lane, able to finish.
That's by Jimmy Hall.
7 points for Jimmy Hall. We're knotted up 20 points apiece.
Jimmy Hall 7 points away from 1,000 points on his career.
Boy, Connor seeing some early action for the Bulls with Massenberg driving. Skeet fades away with a 3 that's way too strong. Cleaned up on the opposite end and put back in by Smart.
Smart picked up Skeet because Skeet didn't take a smart shot right there. How's that, Ben?
Great wordplay. McKenna Smart with his first 2. Body shot off the baseline, sunk by Edwin. Deion Edwin, a redshirt junior from the Virgin Islands. Started first at Laramie County Community College. Massenberg forced it up. Thomas skies for the rebound, and here come the Golden Flashes.
Good decision in transition. Hall begging for the ball in the post. He wants it. He's got Skeet on him.
Spicer from the elbow. Now working against the mismatch. Balled it over the iron. Just couldn't get gravity to pull it in.
In every part of the rim but the bottom.
Connor from the baseline. Got bumped. Play continues. Spicer tips the rebound to himself.
Give Rob Senderhoff credit for that no call. He's been working the officials all night since the Bulls went on their little run and there was some physical contact down at the offensive end for Kent State. Right there, the officials let little bump go.
Talking with Rob at shoot-around earlier today, he was feeling great. He said this is the first and only time he's been through Western New York without any snow, any bitter wind chill, single-digit temperatures. He was loving it.
So he's not going to be working for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, you say?
He's not. Kick out for Cancer. Puts the Golden Flashes back in front.
Good inside-out basketball right there.
First three-point field goal for the Golden Flashes. UB tried to answer quickly, and it rolls off to Kent State.
Hall wants the ball on the block. He wants the ball every time down.
Squares on Smart.
Heads up.
Airmail that one into the third row. Hall's frustrated by the errant pass. It was near our colleague, Amy Audubon.
Amy's got to get her hands ready.
That was coming in hot.
It's the right idea. Just poor execution.
Good turn of the corner by Bearden. Found Smart. Staff is begging for a travel on the opposite side from Kent State. But Kenna Smart gets his second hoop.
More guys over there rotating their hands than we're at your wedding reception. You know what I mean, Ben?
We try to keep things small. Out of the reach of Davis, out of bounds, timeout on the floor. 7:34 left to play. We're in half number 1 as we go back and forth with the Bulls and the Golden Flashes in the MAC. Rob Cinder.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
What am I doing in this royal carriage? I summoned it with YP, the best local app ever, with Uber built right in. Conroy, take me to the haberdashery.
That's not my name, sir.
Sir.
How do I get away with this? I bought tickets directly from the YP app, and with Fandango built right in, I go right to my primo seats with this obscene bucket of corn. Hot.
Download the YP app. Do it now.
The Renaissance Cleveland Downtown Hotel is centered in the heart of downtown and reflects the city's unique sense of style and rich cultural history. Relax comfortably in our luxurious guest rooms or indulge in a delicious cocktail at the Lobby Court Bar. Located on Public Square, guests will have endless entertainment options just outside our front door, including Tower City Center, exclusive boutiques and restaurants, and must-visit Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Discover Cleveland's landmark social address at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel. Kent State 25, UB 24.
What's great about the early tip-off, Ben? Younger fans can be at the game too. Get home in time for bed.
Well, see, I look at it the opposite way. If it's an earlier tip-off, you're here at dinner time. Just another excuse to indulge and eat. I like the earlier tip-off. A lot of MAC basketball on the slate over not only this week, but through the weekend, and big games for teams that could be surprises like Ball State. NIU's got a nice number of wins. Bearden attacking off the window, too strong.
Got the driving lane he wanted, but his path to the basket was closed off at the last minute.
Jimmy Hall fed high. Wigington defends him. Hall backs into traffic. Picks up a personal foul on the Bulls with 7 to shoot.
Tell you what, the game within the game, Ben. Both coaches right now, Nate Oates, having a little conference with Todd Van Sassen over there. Both guys working the officials, trying to get the next call.
All back at the free throw line. They completed a 3-point play earlier.
Good look at Coach Oates and official Van Sassen having a nice little meeting there. Very friendly, very cordial. How are you enjoying your trip to Western New York?
You should go here, you should go here. Davis couldn't get the putback. And a rebounding foul called on the brilliant gold jerseys of Kent State.
You like the gold jerseys, don't you?
Like they pop.
Jimmy Hall missing both free throws. You see him shaking his head, a 73% free throw shooter. That doesn't usually happen.
Under the 7-minute mark, 1-point game. Skeet through traffic. Hamilton.
Great find.
Offensive rebound for Kadiri.
So you notice the difference. How many post passes have you seen Buffalo make? Like 1 or 2?
That's about it. It's a very perimeter-oriented game. And why not? Because you got Blake Hamilton feeling as confident as ever. 9 points for the junior.
It's good coaching, though. It's what you're good at. Do what you're good at. Do what you can do. And try and force it into guys who are in the post who aren't as comfortable scoring.
Hamilton with the bump on the opposite end. Picks up the personal foul. Ortiz and Davis out. Spicer, Thomas back in.
The minute Ortiz stepped out and Davis stepped out, Spicer and Jones came in. Hall moves to the small forward spot. He immediately goes to the block, and he's calling for the ball in the post.
Tried to set the screen for Thomas. He was left alone for a moment. Good recovery by Bearden. Cancer will fire the 3. Hamilton pushing it ahead for Skeet. To the corner. Bearden has the 3.
All started with the outlet by Hamilton. He took one dribble and threw it ahead to Skeet. It allowed him to get going, and Skeet got toward the middle of the paint and kicked it out for a wide open 3 by Bearden.
Bulls on their second 7-0 run here in short order. Kent State, after they called the timeout, did a nice job of answering it and then went back in front, but now the Bulls have built a 4-point cushion.
And you see Buffalo's philosophy there. Ball goes into the post. It's like a team meeting. They're surrounding the ball.
Ball got rid of Wigington, then got hung in the air. Nice snap pass to Cancer, wants to drive. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Kent State. I saw 2 arms. One went one way, the other went the other way. It'll stay with the golden flashes.
Everybody's looking up at the video screen. I think Kevin Ferguson was right. Should turn around and yell at the crowd.
Quick trigger with a shot clock winding down. Thomas empty, but Spicer with an offensive rebound. Another reason why this big front court, Hall, Spicer, Ortiz, end up +7 on the season. Three blue and white jerseys around. Spicer gets the feed and flushes it.
Great pass. When your leading scorer can draw 3 people, get them up in the air, great footwork, and find a guy that's going to energize your team. Nicely done, Jimmy Hall.
Beard slipping through traffic. Hot potato between Skeet and Hamilton. Traveling on Hamilton.
Hot potato turned into hot foot right there. Hamilton a little bit too excited that he was going to be open.
Nate Oates and Rob Cinderoff both dealing with shortened benches. Injuries have reared their ugly head. A couple of suspensions along the way.
Both guys subbing liberally, though. Keeping guys fresh. It's February. You want guys all on board. Everybody know they're going to play. Getting guys some playing time. Keeps everybody in tune to the game.
Xavier Pollard, that's obviously going to be a huge hole. Leading scorer out of the lineup. But good news for Jalen Walker. Saw team doctors today. Got a positive report. Is en route and was expected to be at least in uniform. Maybe not available, but Walker perhaps is on the cusp of returning to the lineup. So everything good news for Jalen Walker in his attempt to get back into the rotation for Kent State. They're locked up at 29 points apiece. Crowder can't change that. Now Thomas leading the way for Kent State, trying to move in front. Poked away. Still held by Kent State. Jones threw it away. Massenburg leads the break and finishes with the left hand.
Quickness of the Bulls bothered the Golden Flashes right there. Jimmy Hall had a lane to the basket, wasn't able to finish. He's back in the post where he wants the ball.
9 points for Jimmy Hall, leading the way for Kent State. Good conference battle for these two teams. But the Bulls have taken 5 straight, including just after the new year, a 76-67 win. Hall comes up short, snared by the Bulls. Wigginton out in front. Perkins releases. Cancer threw a double team into one. Kept alive by Spicer. Feed for Hall. No bucket.
Good challenge by Perkins. Jimmy Hall took his eyes off the rim. Rob Senderhoff going nuts looking for the foul call over there.
Willie Connor had a shot swatted away by Spicer. Fade away for Hall. We're locked up again.
Gets that ball in the post. Right there you see the Bulls going over and calling timeout. Coaches can't call timeout anymore. Rob Senderhoff was looking for a travel call. He was holding the ball. Lamonte Bearden waiting for the foul. For the timeout call, excuse me.
The excitement is building once again on the shores of Lake Erie, from the action on the field to the fans in the stadium and those watching at home, because we're caring for our players with a truly innovative approach centered around the patient. It's our philosophy for the health of our team and our entire community. We're University Hospitals, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partner of the Cleveland Browns.
University Hospital Sports Medicine is proud to be the official healthcare partner and provider of the Mid-American Conference. For an appointment near you, call 216-983-PLAY. Victory probably has had a couple of trips to the greater Cleveland area,
but not to the hospital. He's okay, right?
Well, only because of the fine work at University Hospital Sports Medicine.
Whew, good tie-in, Ben. Good job. And a good game right now.
31 points apiece. This has essentially been an 8-point game. 4 one way, 4 the other way. Hamilton has the 3 spin out. Edwin's there for the rebound.
From that same ball screen with Nick Perkins, and twice he made a pass. They put Hamilton there, see if he could knock down the 3.
Ball spins around Smart. Hung in the air. Wow, what a follow made by Spicer.
All the Bulls defenders are focused on Hall, allowing Spicer to sneak in there, get a putback.
From the hand of Massenberg. Watches it fall through.
I mean, the way he's playing right now, when he shoots it, do you ever doubt that it's going in?
His 3-point percentage is on the rise. Came in at 36%. He's had a great 2016. Edwin drove right into traffic. Smart got a good piece of the leather. Bulls patient with the rock. Bearden with the drive. Finds Smart, who answers.
It's their post move. I thought Lamonte Bearden might have gotten away with a little push off with his left hand there on the defender, but that's their answer to post moves right there for the Bulls. Drive, dump it off, and dunk it.
6 points for Ikenna Smart. Part of the 20 that have been produced by the bench of UB. Thomas fouled on the floor.
Kevin Ferguson with the block call. The Bulls bench all over it. Not happy with that call.
Nate Oates talking about the armbar.
See Nate Oates saying he used his chicken wing. That's how he got open.
Cancer pirouettes. Couldn't finish with the left.
It's funny because I just said Lamonte Bearden, I thought, pushed off at the other end. And now they're looking for the call here.
Catch and shoot. This one didn't fall. Kent State basketball. Shot clock dark. Kent State's been so dominant, Mike, here in this first half, like getting those entry touches. If you get an entry pass that results in a high percentage shot or a quick kick out, do you take it regardless of holding?
Yes. I think you get a good shot right now. Yeah, I think they're going to wait and dribble the ball out. Another one of the new rules this year, there's no 5-second call. So Thomas can dribble the ball as long as he wants.
Cancer with 5. Extra pass from the baseline. Hall. Spicer to beat the timer. Couldn't get it.
2 good looks for the Golden Flashes. Came up empty though.
What a first half that we have played here in Western New York. Back and forth the entire 20 minutes. And at the break, another small lead. And it belongs to the Bulls. A 36-33 halftime advantage for UB.
Tonight.
Halftime at Alumni Arena, where the University of Buffalo Bulls are in front 36-33 over the visiting Kent State Flashes. Welcome you courtside. I'm Ben Wagner. We'll have more of our halftime show ahead, including a look at the numbers, but as the halftime program continues, our conversation with the women's basketball coach and Felicia Lega-Jack, who is motoring around this place. I mean, she's working in the afternoon doing shooting drills at practice, and now she's thinking about family time. Maceo is about ready to hit the hardwood as well. Give us an update on your son.
Well, you know what? As a mom, I'm nervous. As a colleague, I'm nervous. I'm just nervous all day today. He's at a game against Jamestown over at Buff State, so right after this, I'm going to head on over there and be a mom.
It's great to actually sit in the stands and have that passion as a parent, isn't it?
No, I can't stand it. I'd rather coach or play, but being a parent is the hardest thing because you just don't want your child to be perfect, and there's no perfection ever at all, but as long as he goes hard, I guess it's okay.
Coach, your team has really turned it up, especially here in 2016. What are some of the major strides you've seen from a very young group?
They bought into the defense. They bought into the locker room. Those things like that, you can control that if you decide just to buy in. When they bought into those two things, and sometimes the wins come, they don't, but they've been locked in from the beginning that they're going to play defense and they're going to win in the locker room.
Joanna Smith has turned into one of the premier players in the Mid-American Conference. How far has her game come, and how far can it go?
I tell you what, I think she can be a pro. I mean, she has all the attributes of an athletic wing that can get to the basket hard. We're going to work on her ball handling a little bit more in the summer, but I think that she can pass the ball, she can shoot the ball better than anybody in the conference, and she knows how to be a teammate, and she's the reason why. She's one of our captains, and she's not going to let anybody leave what we're trying to create. Even though we had some bad situations where we didn't win, she stayed true to our team and what we're trying to create. And the team always buys in when your best player is working the hardest.
You wrap up the home portion, at least of the regular season schedule tomorrow. Give us a preview of the matchup against BG. I know you've seen a lot of them and can even see more of them.
We played them 10 days ago. They can shoot the ball. Every single person on that team can shoot it, including their 6'4" center. She can shoot the three as well. So we got our hands full. They're going to stretch our defense, and we're going to have to stay disciplined and trust what we do is good enough. But we got to box them out because they rebound the ball pretty well offensively as well.
Enjoy the game tomorrow and enjoy the game later tonight with your son.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all you do. Go Bulls!
All right, that's Felicia Lega-Jack, the women's basketball head coach here at the University at Buffalo. Just a 3-point separation from Kent State against the Bulls, 36-33, your halftime score. Always lovely to take a stroll around campus, weave your way in and out of the buildings here at the University at Buffalo. We know exactly where we are tonight, Alumni Arena, where we've got a great MAC basketball game. 36-33, our halftime score. A couple of numbers jump right off the page. I think rebounding will be a big factor in the next 20 minutes.
Without a doubt, 11 offensive rebounds for Kent State. They have to keep going to the glass. If you're Buffalo, you're figuring out a way, keep them off the offensive backboard.
All right, that's our halftime adjustment from the head coach. 36-33. The University at Buffalo has never led by more than 4 points. Kent State, they've had a cushion, but never bigger than 4 points as well. 3 points the difference here at the break.
The University at Buffalo. Learners, teachers, leaders. We're tenacious in the pursuit of knowledge, constant in our curiosity, directed in our ambition, boundless in our creativity, uncompromising in the pursuit of excellence, and free to discover the best in each of us.
Great look from Baird Point here on the campus of University at Buffalo as the sun sinks through Western New York. 36-33 is your halftime score. I'm Ben Wagner along with Mike McDonald. Coach, when you look at the halftime highlights, you're going to see a lot of Jimmy Hall, which we expected and which was a big concern, especially for Nate Oates.
Good move on our part, highlighting him at the beginning of the game, huh?
Exactly. Jimmy Hall on the inside. He can finish. He's got good feet. He's got better hands. And he can work himself around the bucket.
He's a tough matchup for the Bulls. Sometimes Kent State plays a little smaller, and they play him at the 4 or the 5. They also play him at the small forward spot where he gets matched up on a smaller defender, and he's able to shoot right over.
Well, one thing that Rob Sinderoff was really concerned about, the Bulls when they attack. Here's Hall working on the inside, a strip by the University of Buffalo. Skeet goes off to the races, and in transition, C.J. Massenberg was part of that barrage.
It's going to be the speed of the Bulls in the second half versus the size of the Golden Flashes.
Here's Lamonte Bearden moving his way into the corner, setting up and right in front of the Golden Flashes bench, knocks down the 3. How about Mord Massenberg, who's probably the most confident Bull of the season right now?
Without a doubt, he's playing at such a high level offensively, and he really wants the ball in his hands. And you know what? the addition of Lamonte Bearden allows him to move back off the ball, where he's sometimes more comfortable. He doesn't have to set up other guys. He can set himself up.
We're at the break right now, 36-33, UNB in front of KSU in MAC college basketball. At the break here at the University at Buffalo, 3-point ball game, Bulls over the Golden Flashes. We look at our halftime statistics. We've already talked about the rebounding numbers. 11 offensive rebounds for KSU, building their 24-17 advantage over UNB, but 48% from the floor for the Bulls.
24 points in the paint for Kent State, and that's a big advantage right there. We'll see who wins that battle right there, points in the paint in the second half.
Do you expect the Bulls to go more on the interior and start their offense that way, or rely on the perimeter game?
No, the Bulls are going to keep doing what they do.
Yeah.
They are a perimeter-based team. They're going to drive it. Their points in the paint are going to come off of layups, and they're going to score points off of kickouts. Like you said, they're shooting 48%. Keep doing what you're doing. That's tremendous.
Jimmy Hall led the way with 11 first-half points. Khalid Spicer right behind him with 9. Spicer with the traveling violation, the 7th turnover for Kent State tonight.
Kent State's got to stop worrying about getting hit a little bit. This is February. This is a big game. You can't worry about the officials. You just got to play.
Bulls were led from 10 points off the bench from C.J. Massenberg. Connor out of the corner hits an early 3.
Dribble penetration sets up the open 3 for Willie Connor.
His first 3 of the night. The Bulls are now 5 of 13 from downtown.
6-point lead here, Ben, is like the biggest one of the game.
For either side. Hall cuts right back into it where we've been all night, and that's a 4-point difference.
Seeing Hall's coming down the court, he's yelling at the officials trying to get a call. This point in the game, you just got to play. You can't worry about the call. You got to keep playing.
In the first half alone, 11 combined free throws. Bulls hit 4 out of 6.
So as a player and a coach, you have to adjust the way they're calling it and say, hey, they're not going to make a lot of calls. You got to play through some contact right here.
There was contact, but not the call. It's a turnover on Buffalo. Hamilton probably too unselfish on that drive.
Sometimes he is, but he does it all. He really, they call him the Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything for the Bulls, and right there, he's almost trying to make a great pass. You can't fault a guy for trying to pass.
24 points, a brand new career high on Saturday, and a big win against PG. Buffalo stopped a 3-game slide. Spins out of the cup. Spicer kept it alive. Will save it, but he stepped on the baseline.
Kent State now 1 for 7 from 3. They want to get some more room for their big guys inside. They got to knock those down. Edwin was wide open, and he said, I'm going to make the next one. He just told Jimmy Hall. It was a good pass by Hall. It was wide open.
Right before that 3-game losing streak, Mike, the Bulls had won 4 in a row and 6 out of 7. They started the month of February, projected as a number 2 seed the way that they were rolling. Fell off to 5th. Out of the corner, Connor misses on the baseline. Hamilton gives it back to Kent State.
And the 3-game losing streak coincided with what?
Lamonte Bearden's suspension.
There you go. And as we've said before, you can't have that. You got to be more mature. You can't get in trouble. Whatever his team-related suspension was, you got to be smarter than that when you're a point guard, a team leader.
Both teams,
one of the best players in the MAC.
And just a sophomore as well. Both teams kind of echoing those sentiments into the stretch run, and Hall slithers his way through traffic. How about the day that he's having already with 15 points?
That was a slow-mo move right there.
Rob Sinderoff, right before the team broke out of shoot-around, said, listen, we've got 4 games left in the season. We're playing some of our best basketball. We have an opportunity to really make some moves right now. Bearden sinks the jumper. He's got 9.
I think both teams feel that way right now. Big time of year.
Thomas leaning in through traffic. Spicer grabs it back for Kent State, and he got the contact that Kent State had been calling for.
Great rebound by Spicer. Corrals it in there and draws the foul on David Kadiri.
Second personal foul on the 6'8 junior. That sent Spicer to the line.
David Kadiri takes a long walk to the bench. He knows he's coming out.
Spicer split a pair earlier in the ball game.
Tough to shoot into that UB student section. All sorts of fat heads over there and everything. No offense, Ben. I wasn't calling you a fat head.
Get in line, buddy. We got a lot of people, prominent people, characters, Western New York, cult heroes. Bulls lead by 4.
They don't have your picture up there, though, do they?
They do not.
What's up with that?
Royalties. Leggington missed the jumper. Spicer, along with Connor, were skying high to grab the rebound.
Kenneth Smart going to get the call.
Number 34, Kenneth Smart.
Kenneth Smart's first personal foul. Kent State hit 13 threes on Friday night, boosting them over Akron. Tonight, just 1 of 6 from the perimeter. It's been all inside, including that man, Hall. Cancer, though, holds down the offensive rebound.
You can see why they're so dangerous when they're hitting threes, because their inside game is so powerful.
That's an and 1 for Kellen Thomas. Those are his first points of the game.
Kellen Thomas a little skip through and up, draws the contact. Makes a tough little runner.
This will be really interesting, Mike, how Kellen Thomas gets started here in this second half, because he was such an important spark over the weekend against Akron. He had his first 7 field goals that he attempted, had 16 first half points, and finished with 22. Smart in transition, couldn't finish.
Great hustle by Kenneth Smart trying to get the tip in. Right back at come the Golden Flashes.
Spicer elevates over everybody and with a soft touch finishes. 11 points for Spicer, the senior from Detroit.
You knew that 6-point lead for Buffalo wasn't going to last too long. Just the way this game is, it's close, possession by possession.
Bearden had a man slide underneath them. Edwin draws the offensive foul, and we get to a timeout. It's Kent State basketball when we return. Deadlock, 41 points apiece. Way through.
The excitement is building once again on the shores of Lake Erie, from the action on the field to the fans in the stadium and those watching at home, because we're caring for our players with a truly innovative approach centered around the patient. It's our philosophy for the health of our team and our entire community. We're University Hospitals, and we're proud to be the official healthcare partner of the Cleveland Browns.
There's people who care where I'm going, and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway, we'll take you wherever you go.
Marathon is a proud sponsor of the Mid-American Conference. We back the MAC.
Ready for some pizza? Be sure to call Giorgio's Oven Fresh Pizza Company, the official pizza of the MAC. Get your large 3-topping pizza special for only $8 during the MAC basketball tournament. Visit us online at giorgiosofp.com.
Are we getting some of that pizza, Ben?
I've been waiting patiently.
I thought you ordered.
I saw the reads early. I thought, well, I'm going to get courtside, have me a nice slice, settle in, perhaps hoard it all for myself.
One dog, one bone, huh?
Taking care of numero uno.
Come on, man. You got your own intern here. He couldn't get on his little laptop and order?
I know the website. Giorgio'sOFP.com.
Something tells me you guys are ordering after I leave.
I'm not telling you. I'm telling him. He's typing it in right now. They had the entire student body on the on the hardwood during that media timeout, so they're waiting for some tennis shoes to shuffle their way off the court.
Really impressive. Honored the 3.0 student athletes.
All those were 3.0s?
How about that?
Holy cow.
I noticed you didn't go out there.
No. I would have been holding the rope to guide the entire crowd.
I got you.
Just over 4 minutes into our second half. Kent State, U at B, 41-41. What a game that we've got in the MAC. Tied 5 different times. The lead has changed hands 7 different times. And another opportunity for Kent State to come all the way back from a 6-0 deficit.
Let's see what Rob Senderhoff has out of the timeout. See if we get Jimmy Hall a touch in the post.
I'll set it up with a feed for Cancer. Reverse for Thomas with 10 to shoot. Passes on the bunny, steps through traffic and right at the cup, able to drop it in. 17 big ones for Jimmy Hall.
He's gone over 1,000 in his career now, Ben.
That bucket right there put him over that mark in his collegiate career as a redshirt junior, transferred in from Hofstra. A foul on Kent State with a hard drive from Massenberg.
Thomas undercutting Massenberg.
Kent State number 5, Kellen Thomas, first personal.
It's just the first personal on Kellen Thomas.
The Bulls have been a little quiet on the scoreboard here after that flurry to start the second half. So when you're quiet, if you're Nate Oates, you get C.J. Massenberg a touch. And he doesn't fail. He gets to the free throw line.
Over the last 70 seconds, 6-0 run from Kent State. Massenberg willing that one through from the free throw line, where he's hit 74% this season. The only product from the state of Texas to put on a UB basketball uniform. This program is not young by any stretch of the imagination. Texas is a huge state, and recently you've got coaches with far reaches too. Surprised that Texas is represented by C.J. Massenberg after all those years.
Well, the way he's working out, I'm pretty sure the Bulls are going to book a few more flights down to Texas to go recruiting.
Go back to that well. 43-43 ball game. Ortiz takes the feed. Double team passes him as he steps into traffic. All kept it alive, corralled by Smart. Massenberg got slapped trying to drive through traffic.
He just makes something happen, C.J. Massenberg. He's drawn 2 fouls now on the guards.
Second personal. Second team.
Speaking of recruiting, that was Nate Oates' #1 job when he arrived on campus with Bobby Hurley. 2 years as the top assistant. He was the recruiting coordinator. He had ties to the tri-state area around Michigan. Started to tap more into the Chicago ranks as well. Those teams that he was the architect on went 42-20. Won back-to-back MAC East titles. Went through the conference tournament last year, represented the MAC at Columbus, Ohio. And Bob Huggins walked away from that ballgame saying the University of Buffalo gave them everything and more that they could have handled that day.
Right, but you know what? The success they've had in those 2 years really pales in comparison to what Kent State's done over the last 15 years or so in the MAC.
That's been unbelievable. Since 1998, nobody has won more games in the conference than the Golden Flashes. Rob Sinderoff has had a thumbprint on all of it. That's a tough bucket by Nick Perkins.
Shot that one about 10 feet high, right line drive, right off the backboard.
Don't want to let your point go too far astray, because Rob Sinderoff has invested a dozen years either as a head coach or as an assistant. Ortiz just airmailed it towards the pom-poms, so it'll be Bulls basketball.
Had a couple of those passes all over the court today. Fans can get involved.
Kent State 18-9, looking for a 16th 20-win season in the window we're talking about. That goes to the late 1990s, includes an Elite 8 run and the 2002 campaign. We talk about flagship programs. Kent State is that for the MAC. Perkins.
Without a doubt. I mean, the success Akron has had recently, people kind of associate Akron as that program, but when you look at it over that period of time, man, Kent State is incredible.
Hamilton got around his defender. Davis, though, had enough to deter the shot.
Bodies flying on the floor. February basketball.
Kent State had numbers, but it's bobbled and turned over by Ortiz, and then fouled to slow down transition.
Great foul by Davis right there, reaching in for the ball. It wasn't intentional, but it slowed down and stopped the Bulls' fast break opportunity.
Bulls keep it in front, 45-43. Put this in perspective, Mike, because we mentioned the amount of 21 seasons knocking on the door of getting a 16th in the last 18 years. The teams that are with Kent State in those categories are the creme de la creme of college basketball. The Kansas, Duke, Kentucky. Florida's in the mix with Syracuse, Arizona, Gonzaga. Skeet knifing his way to finish on the reverse lay-in.
Pretty move by Jaren Skeet. Little jab step fake, drive and a reverse layup.
Quiet first half for Jaren Skeet, his first points of the evening. Hall going around everybody seemingly, side to side on the court.
Hall likes to use the Heisman right there. He's good with his right hand out, or his left hand out all the time. Skeet, little pump fake, get up and under, pretty reverse layup.
Jared Skeet, lone 4-year player for the Bulls currently. He's had a lot of adversity in his collegiate career. A lot of people could have pulled the shoot. A little pushing, that drew the whistle underneath. But Jared Skeet, 3 different head coaches. A lot of turnover in terms of team chemistry. Stuck with the program. Trying to reap the rewards of that. Hall and Smart taking a moment. Being observed by Greg Langsdorff.
Being observed. I like that. What it is out of bounds play is an isolation play, and they love to throw it right into him right away.
Offensive foul is called. After all that conversation, you knew Langsdorff was going to be looking for it, and a shove whistled on Hall.
That's one that'll keep coaches up night. Your leading scorer picking up his second foul, trying to go get it, and a little push off right there with the left hand. Good call by the officials.
Hall departs as the result. Dion Edwin back on the floor.
Told you, watch, every time Hall drives dribbling with his right, he likes to use his left hand to create a little space.
4-point cushion again for the Bulls.
Kent State, really good ball screen defense up top, switching it.
Edwin calling for help, got it, and the pass deflected. Looking for Massenburg out of the corner.
Cancer with a good rotation to get to the corner and not allow that pass to get there. All started with the defense up top on the ball screen, not allowing the Bulls to get in the paint, where they've been great at doing all day.
Buffalo with 8 to shoot. Massenburg only used 1 tick of that and hits the 3. Third 3 of the night for C.J. Massenburg.
And the arc he has on his jump shot is a thing of beauty.
7-point lead for Buffalo, their largest of the night. And a strip by Massenburg, doing it on both ends. Perkins, bucket and a foul.
Perkins ran, but guess who started it all right here? The outstanding freshman, C.J. Massenburg. The pass ahead, little hit in the face by Chris Ortiz. And Perkins, the other freshman, finishing at the other end.
Stepping through traffic, and as a freshman, calmly getting towards the rack.
No rush, took his time, took the hit in the nose, and finished it.
Trying to stretch out a 3-minute and 12-second run for the Bulls. The 3-point play makes it 12-0 in this burst.
Rob Senderhoff quickly gets Jimmy Hall back in. He had taken him out after that offensive foul. He wants him back in, and he wants the offense to go through him.
10 points the deficit, and Perkins called for the slap. Timeout on the floor. A couple of ticks, under 12 minutes to play in regulation. Can the Bulls continue their winning ways over Kent State? We find out. C.J. Massenberg in the middle of everything, including this 12-0 run for Buffalo. Against the league's stiffest competition, he's having his best games. 15 points tonight, had 21 on Tuesday against Akron. And as a freshman, the most points produced by a Bull when he dropped in 36 against Ohio earlier this year.
You know, we talked about it earlier, Ben, that he more so than anybody is going to benefit from Lamonte Bearden being back because he can move off the basketball.
Cancer just threw it away. Up the floor, Massenberg converts.
He knows we're talking about him, man. He hears it and he keeps going, but you know, he had that great game against Ohio, but it was more of a 1-on-5 show, and it was the Bulls' worst loss. Here, he's able to get his points within the flow of the offense, and other guys are getting involved too.
By far and away the largest lead of the night. 12 points. Off ball, personal foul underneath.
Poor David Kadiri is walking over going, man, they just know my number right away. He knows the minute there's a foul call, he just goes out. He just comes out.
Third personal foul on Kadiri. Kenna Smart back into the lineup for Buffalo.
These points right here are big for Kent State. Golden Flashes need to score right now, and the clock is stopped. Put a couple points on the board, and get yourself feeling comfortable.
They've leaned on Jimmy Hall a lot, and he leans that one through. 18 points. 18 points for the junior. They have to get some points without the clock running, because this game may be slipping away.
They just have to get some points, period.
Good rotation on the second. Much better looking free throws from Jimmy Hall here in the second half. Leads all scores with 19 points.
See if the Bulls will find C.J. Massenberg.
Found him halfway down the pegs with a kick out for Hamilton, who's traveled. Good call right in front of us. This has really been an interesting series between Buffalo and Kent State. It was dominated early on. The first 21 meetings, Kent State won all but 3 head-to-head. But over the last 18 head-to-head games, UB has won 10, Kent State with 8.
So law of averages coming down, right? Come on, you're a baseball guy.
It's a balance of this league,
yes.
And specifically within an Eastern Division, which really has some heavy hitters. Got Akron, Kent State, Ohio, Buffalo. Those are the talks. Good hustle by Smart. Creates the steal for Massenberg. Got contact, couldn't get the bucket.
Massenberg is just a special player. We don't talk about it enough, but when Hamilton just traveled, a lot of poise for the freshman. He drove in, he was crowded, and threw it back out. Here he comes down in transition, takes his time, and finds his way to knife through the defense and draw the foul.
Second trip at the line tonight for Massenberg. Tilted approach for the free throw line. Flangs it off.
So quiet in here when he shoots it.
Got eerily quiet.
Library quiet right now. Almost, it might be tougher for the shooter when it's that quiet. You almost want a little bit of noise.
UB trying to beat one of 4 different teams with 9 wins in the MAC. 3 are within the Eastern Division.
If you're Kent State, you want to make a run here. You don't want the Bulls having an advantage over you going to the MAC tournament saying, well, we know we can beat them.
Spicer from the elbow. Hits from 15.
The high-low offense.
Spicer working on his second double-double of the season. And one in late January against Eastern Michigan.
How about the big fella knifing through the lane like that?
Perkins showing some real talent today.
Sliced and avoided the charge. Beautiful.
Back to a 10-point difference.
So now that Spicer hit the jump shot, Nick Perkins is playing a lot tougher.
That rode off a Buffalo foot. Thomas patiently approaches. Took it all the way to the rack.
Great drive.
Had the daylight, able to convert.
Thomas and Cancer got to get going for the Golden Flashes.
Massenburg launches a high arcing three that hits nothing but the bottom rung of an island. 4 threes for C.J. Massenburg, 20 points, and a timeout from the Kent State bench.
Sounds like Rookie of the Year right there, Ben.
He's leading the Bulls barrage. Just over 9 minutes left to play, and the Bulls are playing their best basketball of the night.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
C.J. Massenburg, the hot hand tonight, 20 points in all, 4 3-pointers, and a large reason why the Bulls have hit each and every one of their last 6 shots. En route to building a double-digit lead.
He's 3 for 3 from the field in the second half. And he's back in his 6-man role. Before he was starting when Bearden was suspended. Now he's coming off the bench, giving him a spark. And he's done it very well.
The nets are smoldering here in this half from both sides. Each team shooting somewhere around 60%. Recently, combining Kent State and Buffalo, 11 of the last 13 shots have been hit. All working hard, got draped. And he'll go to the line with free throws.
Problem for Kent State is they've had 6 turnovers. They had 6 turnovers the whole first half. They have 6 turnovers in the first 11 minutes of this half. Have to do a better job of taking care of the ball because obviously when they get shots up, they're usually going in.
All back at the free throw line, hit a pair earlier. This has really been a tough place to play for Kent State. Rob Sinderoff brought that up very quickly. I said, well, just kind of in recent memory, right? And he said, no, for this program, this building was a house of horrors. That 2002 Elite 8 team went 17-1 in the conference. The one time they stubbed their toe in this building.
So you think it's the building or maybe the teams on the other bench?
I think it's the coaches. I think it's the teams. I said, come on, what's the reason? I said, I can never figure it out. I said, I tried to figure it out. I was tasked with figuring out as assistant. Mentioned Rob Sinderoff, a dozen years in some capacity at Kent State. 47 wins within the conference.
Kent State switching their defense. Sorry, Ben, trying to go to a little zone. get the Bulls out of their rhythm.
Kick out, open, Hamilton hits.
How about the smile on C.J. Massenberg's face, celebrating his pass as much of any of his shots.
Edwin trying to answer quickly, and he does. 6 points for Dion Edwin.
Good test for Coach Senderhoff right here. Do you stay zone after giving it up an open three? He does. Trying to get the Bulls off balance a little bit. Taking a page out of Bowling Green's book. They played a lot of zone and really got the Bulls off balance on Saturday.
Perkins steps right through it. Got a nice second half. Only had a free throw at halftime. He's into double figures.
His fellow freshman Massenberg starts the fire, and everybody else feels the heat.
Hot shooting continues for both sides. Ortiz couldn't finish. Came away asking for contact. Perkins, inside first, outside for the three. Nick Perkins is just a 28% three-point shooter. The freshman feeling it with his teammates. 16-point Buffalo lead. 9 for their last 9. Timeout on the floor.
Make time this spring to escape to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the only thing you'll want to do is have fun in the sun. Let the sound of the ocean's tide take all your cares away and leave you refreshed to experience something new. It's your moment to let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
16-point lead for Buffalo tonight, trying to defend their home court. And more road struggles for Kent State. Could slip to 6-6 if they can't rebound over the next 7.5 minutes. Largest deficit of the night.
It's been the freshman show here in the second half.
Poked high into the air, taken by Connor. Off to the races. Steps around his defender and converts. Good times continue to roll for Buffalo.
Bulls are flying in transition right now. Golden Flashes have no answers.
They've lost 2 of their top 4 scorers. Xavier Pollard, he's out for at least another couple of weeks with a broken bone in his left foot. Although some positive news on Jalen Walker. Thomas hits the 3. He's got 7. Got word earlier that Jalen Walker stayed behind with the team, wanted to see the doctors today. So he visited with them in Akron, then made the road trip to be on the bench tonight, but not available. That's at least the word that we've gotten. Available in uniform, perhaps, in maybe sensing a return to the lineup.
Well, he hasn't practiced in a while, so you want to give him a chance to get some practice in and then play. And it's tough. They'll go through a little bit of getting those guys back to joining the team, and when they do, they're going to be really a tough out in the tournament.
Hamilton at the free throw line hits the first of 2.
Hey, straight. I don't want him under the basket, all right?
Blake had 9 first-half points. Underclassmen really leading the way tonight. Perkins kept it alive, handled by Spicer. Edwin out of the corner, a much-needed 3 for Kent State. Quickly, Connor couldn't finish, but the Bulls fly up the court.
Edwin made his 3, and he did a little posturing, Robin Hood or something, and shot an arrow in the air or whatever. Meanwhile, the Bulls were inbounding the ball and pushing it up. Watch, you'll see here. He hits the 3. Let's see if the camera stays on him. We just kind of missed it. He caught the end of it. But meanwhile, he's saying, hey, that's my man up there. We got to get my man. And meanwhile, his man is now going to the free throw line.
Looks like an official review is going to happen here in a moment as we get ready for the second free throw, perhaps. Kevin Ferguson heading to the sidelines along with Greg Langsdorff.
You see over in the left corner here, he makes the 3, and here comes, he pulls the arrow out and shoots it in the air. And that's great that he's Robin Hood right there, but instead, get back on defense. I'm not sure what the officials were looking at right there. I guess just verifying who the foul was on.
I think you're right, Mike. They just announced that the personal foul is on Kellen Thomas, confirming the personal.
I may be right, but Kellen Thomas doesn't agree with us.
Willie Connor, the reward of 2 free throws for his head coach, Nate Oates. So many things you have to deal with, Mike, and you know this too, when you take the reins of a program. Despite how familiar you are with its inner workings as an assistant, there's so much more that's put on your plate.
Those 6 inches from the assistant's chair to the head coach's chair, big jump.
Willie Connor successful at the free throw line. But in late October, Nate Oates' wife, Crystal, was diagnosed with double-hit lymphoma, which is an advanced form of lymphoma cancer. Well, she's about ready to go through her last round of chemotherapy. All the PET tests have come back with positive returns. She was dubbed cancer-free, will complete the round of chemotherapy, which is great news for the Nate Oates family, their 3 daughters. But now, this opportunity to raise awareness, and Nate Oates has taken it into his own hands. He's become an athlete in training himself.
It puts all this basketball stuff in perspective, you know. Nate, we work in the toy department in the department store of life. Remember that.
You know, it was funny, and a nice article as well by Jerry Sullivan in the Buffalo News. So I asked Nate, and as a follow-up about the story too, with his wife and what he's going through in preparation for this summer activities as well. And he mentioned that a couple of years ago, as an assistant, his number 1 job was to promote and then activate and get campers to the basketball camp. Well, the Ride for Roswell features over 8,000 riders to raise money for research. Well, he was perturbed one day. You know, he had to shift things around. Now, looking back, what a silly thing to have jump in your crawl. Well, now he's going to be an active rider in the Ride for Roswell to celebrate 17 years of marriage, what he, his wife, his family, and the entire Bulls program have gone through this year. When they come out of their first huddle, getting ready for action, they're not breaking the huddle with your traditional families, team, what have you.
Defense.
They come away with a huddle and they yell out Crystal because they're all in it together. Within 6 months of taking over the job, got the diagnosis, and now he's preparing one of the 8,000 riders. Said he's going to need a new bike, though. He doesn't have the wheels to get it done. All tied up. And then a foul.
Tell you what, you look at Buffalo's record when they're at full strength, when Bearden is here, it's pretty impressive. They have 3 losses when he was suspended. In reality, they're a much tougher team, and you talk about a tough team people aren't going to want to play in the Mid-American Conference Tournament. The UB Bulls are one of them.
Monte Bearden suspended for violating team rules. Took his 3-game suspension. Didn't start against Bowling Green. Back into the starting lineup here tonight. He's fueled this offense. It's got depth. It's had its clunky moments too. I don't think Nate Oates or his entire staff had a feel for what Buffalo had at the beginning of the season. Smart leaning in, drew the contact.
Most teams don't know what you have, and you're trying to figure out where your strengths are, how you're going to score, are you going to throw the ball inside more. Instead, it takes them a little while. We talked about where I coach at Damon. We played the Bulls in an exhibition game. We played them at Damon, or at here, and C.J. Massenberg came off the bench and had 25 points. And afterward, the coaches said to me, we didn't know he was that good. And it was kind of a surprise for them. I'll tell you what, every time I'm watching him play and he's scoring 22 points or whatever he has tonight, I'm saying, we didn't do too bad a job on him.
McKenna Smart at the free throw line, sinks a pair, his 9 points, making it a 17-point Buffalo lead. Avery to Ortiz, who drives in. Stripped to the basketball, got it back. No reset on the shot clock. Avery floats it into no man's land. Bearden had the steal, then he got wrapped up by Edwin.
And you see that, we talked about the difference in styles, the size, big guys pounded inside of Kent State versus the quickness and attacking, driving of the Buffalo Bulls. Tonight, it looks like, unless we're looking at a miracle comeback, quickness has won over size.
Bulls over their season average in points. It's been led all season long. Bearden, Hamilton, Massenberg, and Willie Connor. They produce 62% of the offense.
And that's their strength. And that goes back to what you were saying. Nate Oates didn't really know what he had early on, but figuring out, all right, my strength and our strength as a team is our perimeter guys. And let's get them the majority of the shots and the chances to score.
Monte Bearden at the free throw line, already tying his season high in assists with 8. So he's a scorer, he's a distributor. Off to the bench with 11 points and those 8 assists. He was a huge, not only proponent of the offense, but a really big deterrent on the perimeter of Thomas as well in that first meeting against Kent State. That's where he last had those 8 assists. Interior D coming through. Connor off to the races. Couldn't hit the layup. Kent State basketball when we return. The under 4 media timeout has arrived, and the Bulls are sensing victory here in Western New York. 19-point lead for Buffalo over Kent State. A little early MAC action for you in the work week.
That guy's ready to play. He was one of the guys who played with Mary Queen Angels at halftime, and they're ready to play.
I avoided any injury during that halftime game, by the way.
I was surprised when
youngsters.
I was surprised when one of those kids tried to pass you the ball. They thought you were one of the grammar school kids.
I wasn't annoyed until one of the other kids tried to post me up. Then it became personal.
Yeah. I would have thrown it to him, I got to tell you.
Avery feeds the post to get us back on track, thankfully. Ortiz is fouled. $19-point lead for Buffalo. They're going to try to win their 6th straight over Kent State, which is unheard of.
And you know, Kent State coming off the great win against Akron, was feeling good. Got on the bus, came here. Now they're going to get on the bus and go home. Not feeling good. But if you're the Bulls, you're saying, hey, this team just beat the #1 team in the conference. And you know what? The Bulls played Akron tough too without Lamonte Bearden. So they got to be feeling good about themselves.
Bob Sinderoff will have to wait on win number 100 arriving in his Kent State head coaching career. He'll become the 3rd Kent State head coach with 100 or more victories. Jim McDonald logged 148. Jim Christopher had 138 wins. Part of his staff had Rob Sinderoff on it. Traveling violation on Hamilton.
Only the 5th turnover this half for the Bulls. And Kent State went a little 1-3-1 as a way to kind of get them off balance.
.320 to bleed out. And a shot blocked away. Hamilton, Smart.
How about the Bulls with 8 blocks today? Being the definitively smaller team, but still with 8 blocks. A lot of activity.
There's 2 ways to skin this cat. They've done a much better job on the boards, too.
Much better.
But shooting percentage is way up here in the second half for both sides.
That's right. Kent State only with 3 offensive rebounds in the second half. But you're right, they are shooting 55% in the second half.
13 to fire. Edwin, quick trigger. That's a 3 from the corner.
And this time he didn't shoot his arrow in the air. He just got up and got back on defense.
Fast learner.
Hey, it's great to have fun. It's great the enthusiasm. But in the end, you got to get back and you got to remember the defensive end.
How about the set shot from the hand of Jaron Skeet? 5 points for Skeet. Avery had that slapped away in a bobble. He held it in his lap. Thankfully got it away with the receiver on the far sideline.
Reporting in for the Bulls.
Now the Bulls will probably use some clock here. Take some time. Get the shot clock down. And try and get out of here with a win.
How about this? With what has happened in Buffalo over the last couple of years, I think as a Bulls program, from a fan perspective, you knew the administration started to believe in what was happening here. Wins and making a run late in February like Buffalo has been able to do the last couple of years, they probably have more of a sense of belonging into the MAC conversation in present tense versus what they had been, and try to really shed a lot of, you know what, we're going to go to Buffalo, we're going to endure a lot of travel, we're going to get our win and try to get out.
That's right. I think it started in the Reggie Witherspoon years, continued obviously on with Bobby Hurley, and now Nate Oates' job is to continue that, and they have. You know what will be interesting? Here's going to be an interesting test. You know where the Bulls' next game is? Ohio U.
Going to Athens.
Going to Athens. Ohio U came in here and really put a whipping on Buffalo. National TV, and they really handed it to them. Now, again, no Lamonte Bearden. So this is going to be their chance for the Bulls to say, you know what? That game was a mirage. We're back at full strength. and we're ready to go.
Doing it against one of the more dominant teams tonight. In the last 14 years, nobody has been better than Kent State. 6 conference crowns. Nobody else has more than 2. Now the Bulls are in that conversation as well. They have flexed their muscles tonight. A 20-point lead over Kent State. Bulls will move to 9 victories in the Eastern Division. Be 9-6, 16-12 overall. Allen playing soft, and we've got 100 seconds to bleed out.
Getting ready to clear the benches, Ben.
Beard will let this one just dribble out in front of him. 14 more ticks. And a late foul. And here comes part of that bench barrage. Here comes John Fleming into the lineup. He'll play in his 4th game of the season. A walk-on from Fishers, Indiana. He's become really good friends with Kellen Thomas. They're both from the Indianapolis area. This guy, Rob Sinderoff said, is the toughest worker on the team. He's the example, as a walk-on, of what the work ethic should be. If a game wraps up at the Mack Center on Kent State's campus, you can find John Fleming waiting on the operations people to put the baskets back up so he can get some more shots.
It's dedication right there, dedication. Bulls clearing their bench too.
Mike Hamilton stepping out. Nick Perkins in the lineup for him.
I think I'd get C.J. Massenberg out too. He's played pretty well. I don't want him twisting an ankle or anything in these last minute and 20 seconds.
Christian Pino, a walk-on. Played in 11 games last year, standing right in front of us. Also see Zach DeSilvo, freshman from Rochester, New York. Pinned underneath the bucket, but Smart's foul bails out Davis.
Zach DeSalvo played at Greece Athena High School in Rochester, New York. Since you're giving the Indiana, I'll give the New York version for the walk-ons.
He helped his team to a 24-1 record.
He played for his coach, Jimmy Johnson. Not that Jimmy Johnson, but the assistant coach was a guy named J-Mac. You know the story of J-Mac?
Enlighten me.
A young man with autism who came off the bench 10 years ago, a couple days ago.
Sank all those threes. Yes, I do remember this story.
He's an assistant coach at Greece Athena High School in Rochester. And they are once again this year, one of the best programs in New York State. I think they're ranked #1 in Class A.
Section 5 runner-up in DeSalvo's final season on the hardwood in high school. Now smiling as he jogs back and forth. The Bulls are within a minute of logging their 9th victory in the conference. Kent State will pack up. They'll head back home. Davis cleaning up after the miss.
Now here's what I'm thinking. If I'm on the Buffalo bench, I'm telling C.J. Massenberg, stay away from everybody. Don't get hurt. Stand in the corner.
Pino trying to create. This is quite a mismatch as he shoots the 3 over Davis. How about that?
Zach DeSalvo with the putback, and the bench erupts. Look at the smiles on the assistant coaches. They're really happy for him.
Cancer couldn't roll it in, out of the reach of Fleming, but still able to get it back. Drops it off, and Davis is fouled with 4 seconds left.
Hey, give Fleming a lot of credit. Unselfish play. Throw it to Davis in there.
Up next, that matchup in Athens, Ohio for Buffalo. On the road at Miami for Kent State. Still one home game left as well for Kent State. They'll play BG on March 1st.
A lot of basketball still to be played. Both these teams. And jockeying for that bye is going to be a lot of fun to watch coming down the stretch in the Mid-American Conference.
17-point lead for Buffalo. DeSalvo eyes the clock. He'll watch it drain out. And we've gone final at Alumni Arena. What a convincing victory for Buffalo and the Bulls. Their 6th straight over Kent State. And now one of 4 teams in the Mid-American Conference with 9 wins. And 3 are housed right in the thick of the Eastern Division. Kent State slips to 18-10 overall. They're 9-6 in league play, 16-12 overall for the Bulls. We will review how it all shakes out when we return to Alumni Arena. An 87